Hi everyone, I hope you've had a good week. It's Carly here with my next video, which is going to be the 7 Deadly Sins of Reading book tag. I've been wanting to do a tag for a while and I was looking at one that grabbed my attention and I decided to go for this one because I really like all the questions. This was created by fellow booktuber Book Malaysia and I will pop a link down in the box below. So the question for Greed is, what is your most expensive book and your most inexpensive book? So I think the most expensive book I've bought is this book, which is called Information is Beautiful. I don't know if anybody's read it. It's non-fiction and it's a bit of a reference book, and I'm a bit of a non-fiction kind of reference fan. I just like facts. So I have quite a lot of books that are similar to this, but this is one of my favourites. It's absolutely gorgeously designed and it's got lovely illustrations. Things like which fish are okay to eat, and then it has all the different fish that you can eat, and things like, let's find a good one. Things like how much carbon there is in different things, like the carbon footprint of different things, and basically a lot of geeky, boring facts, which I like a good fact. That was the most expensive book, I think, which is about 20 quid. It's probably the most expensive book I've bought. And I think the cheapest book I've bought is, when I was a student, I used to buy quite a lot of books from charity shops. And I remember distinctly picking up a copy of It by Stephen King for like 50p. It's actually one of my favourite books ever. And it's a very, very worn copy. I think that's probably the cheapest book I've bought, so a bit of a range there. Wrath is, which author do you have a love-hate relationship with? I think for me that's going to be Gillian Flynn. I think she'll be my pick because I absolutely adore her and all of her books. But I was trying to find out when her next book is coming out and it's not until the end of next year, and I can't cope with such a long gap between books. So it makes me really angry, and her books just frustrate me so much because as soon as I think I've figured it out and I know what's going on, she throws another curveball in there and I'm just like, what? So I love her. And my hate reasons aren't really hate reasons because I just love her. I just wish she'd put out like a book a month. That would be great. Gluttony is, which book have you devoured over and over again? And I'm not the biggest rereader, so this was a little bit difficult. In the last few years, I don't think I've reread much, so it will have been kind of pre-blogging. I've read The Bell Jar a lot. I always put that as my favourite book, and I've read that kind of 4 or 5 times, which for me is like a lot of rereading. When I was a kid, I used to reread the Narnia books over and over again. So I'd probably they're my most reread is the Narnia series, especially The Horse and His Boy. I think that's probably my #1 reread book. Number 4 is, what book have you neglected reading due to laziness? And the answer is a lot. My TBR pile is huge. I am not the most fast-paced reader in the world. I kind of like to take my time, be a bit leisurely with it, just kind of pick up what I fancy when I fancy it. I think the book I've held out on for quite a while is The Diviners by Libba Bray. Just because it's really big, and I know that's a really bad excuse, but I didn't even read Days of Blood and Starlight for like a year because it was huge. I was like, I could read like 3 short books in that time, which I know is really bad because I do really want to read it, but yeah, that's my lazy book. Number 5 is, what books you most talk about in order to sound like a very intellectual reader? Oh, this is so easy. Anything by Voltaire. I studied him for my French A-level. I had to do a 20-minute speech about kind of a famous French historical figure. So I spoke about Voltaire, so I spent about 6 months doing loads of research, reading all of his books, reading loads and loads about him. So weirdly I've kind of become a bit of a Voltaire expert, and anyone who knows me knows my reading tastes aren't particularly highbrow, to say the least. So I think that kind of surprises people when I can just slip a couple of quotes in. Number 6 is, what attributes do you find most attractive in male or female characters? And the answer is a good sense of humour, because if you haven't got a good sense of humour, we are not going to be friends. And finally, number 7 is, what book would you most like to receive as a gift? And the answer is The Ship of Theseus by J.J. Abrams and Doug Dorst, I think it is. I hope that's not wrong. That's right, isn't it? Basically, the main reason is because I love Lost. So I love J.J. Abrams. It sounds amazing as well. When I read kind of the summary, although it's kind of difficult to find a summary online because the whole thing is a bit cagey and J.J. Abramsy and weird. It sounds awesome. So there you go. That was my attempt at the 7 deadly sins of reading tag. That was really fun actually. I really enjoyed those questions. I tag everyone watching this to do their version. And that's all from me today. I hope you all have a lovely week and I will see you again in a fortnight. Bye!